Nako, heto na mga karubyo natin na Korte Suprema umaksyon na. Justice Leonen pinatikim ng sermon ang Kamara. Insertion sa GAA 2024 to 2025. Halata. Nako, yan po ang ating aalamin mga kababayan sa video ito. Pero bago po natin simulan yan, palike naman po ng video ito. Malaking tulong po yan mga karubyo natin. Maraming salamat po. At eto nga, bago po natin i-play ito mga karubyo natin, eto pasadahan muna natin itong nagte-trending na mga balita dito sa social media. At eto nga, nako, si Romualdez, ayan. Ha? Sabi po dito sa balita, mga karibyo natin, Romualdez, handa umanong makipagtulungan sa investigasyon ng ombudsman. Ayan na. May plano ito. May plano po ito mga kaubayan. Diba? Kasi hindi po ito lalabas kung hindi po siya confident na mananalo siya. I mean, maa-acquit siya. Diba? Kasi kakasuhan daw ito ng ombudsman, mga kaubayan. Ngayon, naisip ko lang, diba, gaya po ng investigasyon sa ICI, lumabas din doon si Romualdez sa ICI. Diba? Lumabas si Romualdez at ano po ang nangyari? Wala. Dahil, hawak po nilang ICI. Ganon din dito. Opo, ganon din dito sa ombudsman. Kaya malakas ang loob ni Romualdez na makipagtulungan dito sa ombudsman. Bakit? Dahil hawak po nila ang ombudsman. Pero, napansin nyo ba? Nung chairman pa si Senator Marcoleta ng Blue Ribbon Committee, no? Bakit sa Blue Ribbon Committee hindi po siya pumunta? Dahil alam niya na mayroong magtatanong sa kanya na hindi nila hawak. O kahit yung si Senator Ping Lacson na ang may hawak ng Blue Ribbon Committee, hindi pa rin umattend si Romualdez. Bakit? Dudurugin siya, gigisahin siya ni Marcoleta, mga kaubayan. Diba? Kahit hawak nila si Lacson, hindi pa rin nila hawak ang buong komite. Dahil may mga miyembro po na magtatanong. Diba? At saka live, no? Pinapakita sa publiko, itong investigasyon ng ombudsman, parang hindi naman siguro ito isa sa publiko ni Bonjing, di ba? Kaya lulusot yang si Romualdez, no? Kaya nga malakas ang apog niya ngayon, di ba? Na lumabas para daw makipagtulungan sa ombudsman. Hoy, wag na kayong magdrama-drama pa. Tapusan nyo na yan. Ito po ang naging komento ng ating mga kaubayan patungkol dyan. Sabi po dito ni Melot, nakagawa na ba ng script? Ayan na, di ba? Nakagawa na ba kayo ng script? We knew the cooking goes on between the two of when the evil smile. Naka-smile ba? Okay. Naka-smile nga yung dalawang evil, no? Sabi po dito ni Dan, Director, Boying and Tamba, please remember the script, one take lang tayo, okay? Kailangan kabisuluhin nyo na yung script bago kayo lumabas. Baka mamaya, hindi ninyo ma-memorize yung script. Nako, magkalat pa kayo. Sabi po dito ni Vil, di ba pagkatapos ng script nilang dalawa, i-act na nila para maganda ang palabas, na directed by Martin Romualdez and produced by Remulla. Ayan. Sila rin no? Anyway, ano po ang inyong opinion dyan mga kaubayan? Just comment down below. At eto pong sunod nating ipapakita mga karibyo natin. Eto naman, sabi po dito ni Attorney Harry Roque, ewan ko lang kung mag-a-agree kayo, but ako talagang I totally agree mga kaubayan. Sabi po kasi dito ni Attorney Harry Roque, pagbibitiw nila Marcos at Romualdez, susi sa paghilom ng bansa. Correct. No? Grabe na po kasi yung ginagawa nila no? So ayan mga kaubayan, do you agree dito po sa sinasabi ni Attorney Harry Roque na ang susi sa lahat ng problema ng ating bansa ay ang pagbibitiw ni Marcos at Romualdez? Nako, just comment down below mga karibyo natin. At ito, pasadahan po natin yung mga naging komento ng ating mga kababayan. Sabi po dito, In your dreams, sabi po ni Maria Teresa, ayan na, in your dreams daw. Attorney Harry Roque. Mhm. Dahil kayo mga demonyo ang nanggugulo dahil akala nyo kayo palaging tama sa lahat, no? Hindi naman lahat ng sinasabi ng mga Duterte supporter tama. And I really agree, no? Pero, tingnan nyo naman ang nangyayari ngayon, no? O kung sinasabi mong nanggugulo mga DDS, hindi po, no? DDS lang sigurong nakakakita ng mga problema. Kasi nga, if you're fanatic of Marcos, hindi mo makikita yung mga ginagawa nila na mga kalokohan, di ba? Isa lang ang direksyon niyan, ha? Marcos. Actually, may nga nag-post nga no? Gusto po nilang i-extend, sabi ng mga supporter ni President Bongbong Marcos Jr. Extend for 20 years si President Bongbong Marcos Jr., mga kaubayan. So, ano pong masasabi niyo dyan kung i-extend pa natin, no? Si President Bongbong Marcos Jr. ng 20 years, aba, napakalaking kalokohan po niyan. Ngayon pa nga lang, 4 years pa lang, mga kaubayan, lubog na sa utang ang ating bansa, di ba? Oh. Anyway, ano po ang inyong opinion dyan, mga kaubayan? Just comment down below. Dito po sa sinasabi ni Atty. Harry Roque na pagbibitiw ni na Marcos at Romualdez sa susi sa paghilom ng bansa. Just comment down below. At eto na, pasadahan na po natin yung video, mga kaubayan. Eto na po, pasok.
That Congress cannot exceed the ceiling of the President's budget, but it can exceed the unprogrammed, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's why it was 303 billion pesos, correct? Exceeding.
Correct, Your Honor.
So if I were a member of the House, and I will not certainly become a member because I cannot win any election, but if I were a member of the House, bakit ko ilalagay sa program? Ilalagay ko na lang sa program. Sigurado pa yan kapag may excess revenue, mauuna ako, hindi yung program. And I can put anything in program so long as the leadership or the BICAM will accept. That's why it was a jump of about 400 billion from the agreements of the House and the Senate, and then bicameral increase it by 400. I would rather go there because I can add everything that I want in the unprogram. So goodbye fiscal discipline.
Gaming the mechanism. It's as if we are thinking that why would the Congress not put the priority.
So mga kabayan, kaunting background lang. Ito po yung oral argument, mga kabayan, ng unconstitutional, no, na GAA 2024 to 2025, mga karabin natin.
Programs in the unprogrammed appropriations because that will for sure be funded, which is incorrect. Because if the government...
You have asked a question that I will ask from someone coming from Congress. Why would they choose unprogrammed from program? Or why is it that they would rather move some of the program to the unprogrammed? So it creates fiscal space in the program because there is a limit, correct? And
Correct.
Therefore, they can make inclusions. I'm trying to avoid the word. Inclusions, insertions, etc. into the program. When there is excess revenue, should it go to program, unprogrammed, and because you created a new one, automatic appropriation?
Your Honor, the sources of funds for the program are different from the sources of funds of the unprogrammed appropriations.
But the triggers in the unprogrammed section includes any excess in non-tax revenues for 2025 and 2026. And in 2024, it was both tax and non-tax revenues. Any excess, it did not qualify.
Yes, yes, Your Honor. For the first trigger on excess revenues, excess revenue collections in any one of identified non-tax revenue from its corresponding original targets as reflected in the BESF. So meaning, for this first trigger, Your Honor, then the priority will be once it only exceeds the source of financing for the program, then it will trigger for the unprogrammed appropriation.
Sa madalit salita, sinabi natin kanina na may deficit. Ibig sabihin, yung planadong expenditures, pasensya na Ilocano ako pero nagtatagalog ako. So yung gastusin natin ay mas malaki kaysa sa kikitahin natin. Yun yung nakalagay na sa program. Na kahit sa programmed expenses, may mas malaki na yung gagastusin natin kaysa yung kikitahin natin. At nakalagay doon sa ating BESF na kapag merong additional na income, hindi maliwanag sa pakiwari ko, hindi maliwanag kung gagastusin yan muna doon sa program or pwede nang gastusin palagi doon sa, or pwede nang gastusin doon sa unprogram. Hindi naman palagi, pero pwede nang gastusin sa program. In other words, my question is there anything in statute or in the Constitution which compels in the budget execution that whenever there is excess income, and I will now go to excess income in non-tax revenues, because that is the trigger in 25 and 26, that it should first be spent for program before unprogram.
It is only in the GAA, Your Honor.
So in other words, there is no constitutional frame where it says finish the unprogram first before you can go to the unprogram, except the case of Araulio, but it in a general sense, and I would even submit a bit of obiter, correct?
Correct, Your Honor. But the Araulio, based on our position, is premised on a different GAA, and the articulation of the triggers in the Araulio case are different from the articulation of the triggers in the 2024, 2025 to 2026 GAAs. And also in the Araulio case, there was a subsequent motion for reconsideration that was filed, and it actually clarified that you don't have to wait for the whole year to ascertain whether there was excess, because otherwise, then there will never be funding for the unprogrammed appropriation. So in the motion for reconsideration, the court clarified that based on a quarterly report by the DBM, there can be a determination of whether the target has been met.
Okay, just to be clear, I will flash now the triggers in the unprogrammed funds. Okay, 2024 was quite unique. There was a subparagraph D. And subparagraph D is now non-existent. It is null and void. It was stricken down in the PhilHealth case. Okay, so we are left with the first trigger. And the first trigger, if you notice, it says coming from the excess revenue. I have to look at my copy because I cannot also see. Okay, so the first trigger is excess revenue collection in or any one of the identified non-tax revenue sources from the corresponding revenue. If you compare it with letter A of 2025, same. Compare with letter with 2026. Identified non-tax revenue sources from its corresponding revenue collection targets as reflected in the BESF. Then in the letter B, new revenue collections or those arising from new taxes or non-tax sources. Also letter B, also letter B of 2026. Approved loans, the difference is letter D, it does not exist, correct?
Correct.
Do you notice any other differences? In 2025 and 2026, excess revenue collections in total revenues was removed. Correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
As well as fund balance of GOCC.
Correct, Your Honor.
This is the only provision in the GAA which controls where excess revenues, new tax sources are to be spent. Correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
So there is nothing in the GAA which allows the DBM and the President to allow a SARO to be used immediately to pay for unprogrammed appropriations, correct? In other words, when there is excess revenue, nakalagay dito excess revenue. So pwedeng gamitin na kaagad sa unprogrammed appropriations, tama?
Correct, Your Honor.
So ibig sabihin, the category of programmed and unprogrammed is really, does not really have a material difference. Because in the interpretation of government, pwede kapag merong excess na pera, excess na revenue, na hindi naka-earmark, na pwedeng gamitin na ito kaagad sa unprogrammed funds. Tama?
Tama po, Your Honor.
And that was why Senator Drilon was actually proposing that we have to be clearer. And actually also Secretary Butch was also saying that, and of course Secretary Jokno was also saying, you have to discipline all of this so that it's very clear that it should be in program funds, correct? And constitutionally, it matters because once you transfer a PAP, a program and project and program coming from program funds, okay, and you transfer it to unprogrammed funds, and you want to fund it immediately, you can increase the amount of unprogrammed funds, like in 2024, you can transfer funds there so that it continuously increase, and the fiscal space created in the program funds, you can reallocate. And then you can have the chance of still having it funded. And in the interpretation of government, you do not violate 25(1) because to you, the limit is the program. Correct?
Correct, Your Honor. Because again, in the analogy that we attempted to include, that we attempted to make in regard to programmed and unprogrammed, is in number one, the prioritization of the programs. So if you put a PAP, a project,
Madam Solgen, how do you say that it's a priority? So we have deficit. Ibig sabihin, mas malaki yung gagastusin natin kaysa yung nakukuha na kinikita natin. Pero kapag lumaki yung kita natin, what you're saying is there is nothing in the GAA, and I do not see anything in the GAA, which says you have to fund the program first before you go to unprogram. Is there?
okay. Yung pong, kaya ko po sinasabi na priority, sapagkat yung sa NEP pa lang, ikinocommit na po ng executive na kung ako ay magtatrabaho at ganito ang mga economic factors, kinocommit ko na meron akong kikitain ng, let's say, 1 billion pesos. Priority po yon sapagkat kinumit na ni executive. Kaya yung mga nakalista doon, pagka na-meet na po yung targets, then they will finance the program. So, the fact that it is put in the unprogrammed...
To be clear, Madam Solgen, the program funds has expenditures, correct?
Correct po.
The revenue to cover these expenditures are lower than the program funds, correct?
Correct po.
So in other words, there is a deficit, may kulang. Tama?
Tama po.
And sinasabi ng pamahalaan natin, kikitahin namin to. Sana lumaki yung income namin. Sana magkaroon ng dividendo sa PhilHealth or whatever or some GOCC na umakyat to. Okay. But here in the provision in unprogrammed fund, it says excess revenue of non-tax sources can be used for unprogrammed funds immediately. There is no control. There is
So yan mga kababayan, ano po ang inyong opinion dyan mga karibin natin? No? Talagang, ayan, dinidikdik nga ni Leonen, no? Itong si Justice Leonen, itong si Solgen, no? So yan mga karibin natin, ano po ang inyong opinion dyan? Just comment down below at syempre huwag pong kalimutang i-like ang video ito. Malaking tulong po yan. Maraming salamat po.